Coming at you from the OLR podcast studio.
It's really more of a basement.
Coming to you from the OLR basement studio.
But it's still a podcast.
Coming to you from the podcast basement studio.
Yeah, but you still need to say OLR.
Coming to you from the OLR podcast basement studio.
Oh, that's way too many words.
Coming at you.
That's not enough. You still need to say OLR.
Let's just start. It's OLR. Welcome to the One Lane Road podcast.
What's up?
What's up, Big Daddy? You ready for football today?
I guess I am.
You come in a little hot, like you're ready for football.
Hey, there's only one opening day, right?
Yeah.
That happened Thursday night with the Packers and Bears, but this is the real open day. This is where the rest of the league plays, and this is where, in particularly, the Titans play.
Who's the Titans playing today?
The media darling Cleveland Browns. Remember when the Browns won like 0 games in the last 1,000 years?
No, I don't. The only thing that I do know about the NFL right now is Antonio Brown was released and then picked up by the Pats in about 4 hours.
I think it was all premeditated.
It could have been premedicated.
I think he is premedicated.
I believe he comes premedicated.
Well, last year when he forced his way out of, or earlier this year when he forced his way out of Pittsburgh.
So you think he premeditated that he went up to his general manager and said he was going to fight him?
Yeah, I do.
Just to get him kicked out?
There was 4 teams. Pittsburgh's a powerhouse.
Right.
I mean, that long time standing NFL franchise dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
When you work yourself off with a respectable head coach, top quarterback in this decade, and you start acting crazy when nobody really wants you. There was 4 teams that wanted him. The Patriots, the Bills, the Titans, and the Raiders. So he leaked this information to say, with his agent. The Bills traded for him. He was like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going there. So he vetoed that trade. Yeah. Was not going to Buffalo. Then he leaked the video with his agent, the audio, saying, yeah, I can mess with Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I can mess with, but man, Tom, playing with Tom would be all right, blah, blah, blah. Well, ultimately, Oakland gives the best package. Third round draft pick, and 5th round draft pick. Goes to Oakland, everything's good. Then he freezes his feet off in the, you see that? Where sometime during the summer he was in like like a tub, and it got his feet too cold, and like his feet were all.
Did he go into one of those sub-zero chambers or something without shoes on? I did hear about that. Yeah, it's like negative 300 degrees, and he walked in without tennis shoes on or no sandals or anything on.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Then they changed the NFL helmet. Every other player
was fine with.
maybe not fine with it, but they didn't threaten to retire.
Right, throw a fit over it.
Threaten to retire.
Got fined $54,000 because he would not play or would not practice.
Yeah. So the last straw was when they handed him his fine. He
went to practice.
He went to practice. Well, he posted on Instagram the fine, bitching and complaining that they fined him.
Right.
When any other, if Tutco reprimanded me for anything, and then I took the letter from HR and screenshotted it,
you're fired.
I probably would be fired.
You're fired.
So he shows up to practice, and the GM's like, "Dude, you can't do that.
You
can't do that." So he threatens to fire him. Let's don't talk about the double standard that he called his boss a cracker.
Right.
It's not really an impressive word. Cracker's not. It doesn't have 400 years of negativity behind it. So that's what I read on Twitter. For most people fighting the good fight for Antonio Brown's psychotic ass. So punts a ball and tells him he quits and he's done, and to release him. He wants to be released. So the thing is, if he just shut up, he would have had $30 million. Like if they suspended him, he was losing his $30 million guaranteed money. The NFL don't have the big contracts like baseball and football. You know what I mean? So guaranteed money is a big deal in NFL. Yeah. $30 million.
Let me put that in perspective a little bit. If you're going to make $30 million, a $54,000 fine equates to, if you make $50,000, equates to being fined $90.
Oh, wow!
Yeah,
well, I'm glad
that's the size. That's the size of the penalty he threw a fit over.
Yep. So he walked away from $30 million. Well, then he's like, his agent was probably like, it's $30 million.
Mm-hmm.
Probably want to chill out, maybe apologize,
maybe settle.
It's big emotional apology.
Mm-hmm.
I go to bed, wake up like the rest of America, get on Twitter. He's posted a video. It's very well done, by the way, with audio of his head coach John Gruden saying, "Hey man, just cut the shit, play football. Come on, man, I love you. I need you here. You're the best in the game," which he is. He's the best wide receiver in the last 10 years, easily in the NFL. So he posts that video with "Release Me, Raiders." It's not coincidental. You telling me that he gets released, works out something with the Patriots within 4 hours?
Right.
Come on. It was a kind of a joke on the internet till it wasn't.
Right.
Like, oh, well, the Patriots just pick him up. Here comes Bill Belichick. All the memes and gifs of Belichick saying Bill Belichick on his way to get Antonio Brown and screw the league once again.
And he did.
It's funny till it's not.
Hey, I know this is not going to happen, but everybody's talking about Gronkowski coming out of retirement.
Who knows? Who knows?
Now that Antonio Brown's there.
Who knows? Unstoppable.
Right. Yeah.
Unstoppable. But they do have a lot of factors. I mean, Brady's 42. It's going to catch up to eventually. It's got to.
Yeah.
It's got to.
You would think. Now, I just lost where I was going.
Gronk.
Right, never mind. Continue because I don't know where I went. I lost it.
Well, obviously, you like to think Antonio Brown just done that to get on that team, but who knows? He's a ticking time bomb. Josh Gordon, the other best receiver.
But he wasn't always, though. He wasn't always like that.
You wanted to root for him because he was undrafted.
Right.
Like he worked his way up to Pittsburgh and then became the best receiver in the game. And all of a sudden, it's like, bam. Crazy.
Yeah. Anyway. I know what I was going to say. He doesn't get part of his contract or new contract is he doesn't get to play against his old team.
Yeah, he's not going to be ready from time for week 1.
Why would that be? Why would he not be ready?
I guess he's got a clear. I don't know. I guess there's
contractual obligation.
I guess there's you got. I don't know. Maybe he's got to pass I don't know what the holdup is. Probably fast physical something. I don't know.
But he's not going to get to play the first game.
Maybe they have to have their rosters in. I don't know what the reason. I did see that. It made good for good television tonight. Played against the Steelers.
Oh yeah, it would have made real good television.
It's got to be the worst contract in history if you're the Raiders because you give up. I mean, a third draft capital is more important in the NFL than is any other sport.
Right.
You just pissed away a 3rd and 5th round pick, and you have nothing to show for it, other than a summer full of drama on Hard Knocks on HBO.
Right.
And they didn't even get the good shit. All this happened after they quit recording.
So is it kind of a lock now that the Pats are going Super Bowl?
I don't know.
Probably.
Their defense is actually supposed to be really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
With the defense, then when you got all that, Gronk comes back. I don't think Gronk will come back.
I don't think he will either. I read something from him today saying that I read it today, but it was posted like 3 days ago. It was an interview and him saying, if my desire to play comes back, then I will go back. I'm not saying that it will, but I am saying that if in a week it comes back and I miss the field, or in a month, or in 3 months, or 2 years, then I'll go back. But I don't see it in the near future.
It'll be about a week 14 roster addition.
Mm-hmm.
Come in hot for about 2 weeks and come in for the playoffs.
It'd be all right.
It's not fair, really. I mean, they're a roster. Now, like I said, Bill Brown, who knows what you're getting. Josh Gordon has been kicked out of the league for drugs. And whether he'll be on the up and up, he's a top receiver if he's healthy. Mind healthy.
Mm-hmm. And Julian Edelman running.
I mean, yeah. It's got to stop sometime. It's got to stop eventually. Jesus Christ.
And then got the 42-year-old captain back there.
Looking feminine. He looks more feminine as he gets older, don't he?
Yeah, look, just like his muscles are starting to go away. Not that he ever really was a muscled-up guy. I was kind of dad-bodied. Just knows how to play football.
He can throw those little short passes to Edelman like nobody's business.
Yeah. Yep.
He's got 17 running backs on the committee.
Yep. Don't use any of them.
I'm about to use all of them. Nobody ever knows who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Just replace running backs every year. Who are you? Oh, okay, just go on in. The Titans are against the Browns. The Browns have sucked forever and ever and amen, like Randy Travis would say. But they're good.
I would say, but this year.
They drafted Baker Mayfield overall last year. Of course, I like Baker Mayfield. I do like his bravado.
Mm-hmm.
I like the swag, as the kids say. I like his attitude. I like him. I like he's grabbing his junk at the foot in college at the other opposing. I don't know. I just like him. I like him. And they traded for Odell Beckham, so that should be a good duo. Their defense is nasty. They're good, and it's everybody, Sports Illustrated, ESPN, everybody's on their jocks. So of course the narrative will be if the Titans do win today, if the Browns win, Super Bowl bound.
Right.
They're the biggest challenger to the Patriots.
Titans win.
If the Titans win, well, maybe
Browns suck.
Maybe Odell Beckham's hips more of a concern than we thought. I mean, Baker hadn't had much of a preseason, so it's going to take them It's going to take them a while to get clicking. The Titans
weren't the factor regardless.
Titans didn't beat the Eagles, Super Bowl champion Eagles last year in overtime. They didn't thump the Patriots so bad they took Tom Brady out of the game.
They didn't beat those people. All those people lost.
All those people, according to ESPN, that's what happened. They didn't thump the Cowboys, the beloved Dallas Cowboys.
Where did they finish the old Titans last year?
9-7, one game out of the playoffs. If they'd won the last game of the season, they'd have made the playoffs. Made the playoffs 2 years ago. Missed 2 seasons ago. They missed by a game. Last season they missed by a game. They're right there.
Are you holding on tight for hope? Just the hope this year? Is this the year that you think it's going to happen? It's going to happen?
That's what, like, some guy was like, I don't understand how Mariota can get this team to 9 wins. Like I was saying on the podcast with Matt Neely, I'm like, oh, the same guy
that did it last year
that's won 9 games 3 years in a row
right.
and went to the playoffs, missed the playoffs by a single game. People are idiots. People are just idiots. I mean, yeah, he's not Joe Montana, but he's not Blaine Gabbert either. He's not a bust. He's just, this year's a big thing for Mariota. Say it for the people listening in the back and everybody else, Mariota. If you say Mariota,
I would say,
you're not credible.
Are you hearing Mariota a lot?
For 5 years. You've had 5 years. It's not like his name's Giannis Antetokounmpo. You want
to say that again?
Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's not that. It's Marcus Mariota. It's not that hard. I just don't believe Mariota's going to be it. No, he's not. Mariota might be.
Mariota's going to come in. Mariota's going to do it.
Jeez. I'm looking forward. I'm pumped up for it. I just can't stand the narrative of these fair weather fans that if they lose today,
I do want to point out how excited you were about this.
Yeah, I didn't want to podcast.
You didn't want a podcast, and you're never on time.
No.
It's 10:19 right now, and we're 13 minutes in. So we monkeyed around for 6 minutes, which means that you said you'd be here at 10 and were. That's very impressive.
Lucas said 10:15. I said, I don't know, man. It's opening. Opening day. Yeah.
Is there any way we can do it earlier? 10 would be great.
It's the 100. Yeah. I'd been here at 9:55. I knew Carrie wasn't going to be here already.
Yeah, she got on her horse and got out of town today. I said, Dustin's ready. Dustin's ready to podcast.
Yeah, it's 100th anniversary of the NFL, baby. Cold Miller Lite all day long.
Bam, all day long.
I don't know if that's accurate or not. I'll probably go home and drink juice boxes. But
this is probably the last one. That's probably the Miller Lite.
I'm excited.
I do want to point out that all you've done is open it. I've not seen you drink any of it. So that may not be, you may not get any in today. There it was. Bam. Ah.
Did you do anything this week? Did anything happen to you this week?
I don't know. Did it?
Did you have a baby?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't. Did anything happen to you this week?
Either, but my wife did.
Bam.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it at the end of last week. I wasn't
going to bring it up for you.
No, I left here. It was on my list, and I thought, my wife's literally having a baby in 3 days, and we didn't even touch
We didn't even cover it. Yeah.
I won't bore you to death, but
new baby.
She won for a podcast listeners who has been in on this race forever. I lost. Jack O'Neill is no more. It is Jack Hamilton. The presidential baby is here.
Wow.
Jack Hamilton born Wednesday morning, and I sent picture to Lucas before
before I made it to Facebook.
I didn't want Kara to have to show Lucas the picture of my baby.
Yeah.
Thank everybody reaching out. All my buddies that reached out. Too many to name. I appreciate you. I didn't send out anything to work. People at work was texting me like, "Oh, we're not going to see the baby." I don't know, man. If you want to see it, text me.
Yeah.
I'm not, well, my baby.
I
did for you though.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The thing. What I was just thinking is, what's the difference between baby 1 and baby 3?
I never thought I'd be there.
Right.
Waylon was it for 9.5 years, and I lived pretty happily with one child. Right. Now it's like, holy God, I got 3.
That's a lot, isn't
So
it?
James, if you can, make some time to build my building because I'm home like forever now.
Yeah, it's over.
Like I'm going to 3 Titans games. I'm going to the Ryman in February. Like I'm officially
Possibly the last of all of them.
I'm dadded down now.
Mhm.
Like you can get away with going places with one kid. Hey, y'all care to watch Waylon while we run to Nashville?
We'll be back in a couple hours.
Um,
Oh, yeah, one. It's fine.
Waylon,
Hey, could you watch my 3 kids while I run to Nashville? No.
is Bayless included in that?
Is the middle child coming?
Somebody said, "Boy, I bet Bayless is, I bet that baby's kept you up." And I was like, "No, he's not. He slept."
Yeah,
And-
Bayless has.
Like Papa Boo
Out like a lot.
poops. He's out like a lot. Bayless is going. And last night we went out to eat, and I felt so bad because I showed my butt in front of like the family that went with us. But like, he was awful
Mm-hmm.
all evening, the whole car ride. Pretty sketchy. You get up there, and Lindsay's won't take a picture of us
Mhm.
on the bench, and like just a quick little picture of Jack in his car seat and all 5 of us. Everybody dressed up, going.
Man, the 5 of us.
Yeah, look at that
Uh-huh.
party of 5, like Fox that show.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do it. Instead, he runs up down the sidewalk picking up cigarette butts.
Yeah.
Going, take a picture. No. I jerk him up,
Yeah.
take him to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Didn't work. Lindsay jerked him up, pants down, right in front of God and everybody
Mm-hmm.
on the bench at Logan, sitting
Yeah.
outside waiting. Don't help him.
Yeah.
And my granny said, "Now y'all not." I said, "No, don't. We're not doing that."
I don't want to hear it.
Janice.
Yeah.
Well, he just tore up because he don't know where his place is at because Jack's here. I said,
Yeah,
no. This has been the whole time.
Yeah.
Bayless has been breathing.
Yeah, this ain't new.
This ain't new. Like
Yeah.
he didn't sleep when he came out the womb. He's been a wildcat.
Mhm.
He's been a thorn in our side
Mm-hmm.
ever since. He's that kid. He's the second kid. You'll know come December.
Someday I may look back on all the input that I've gotten from people that are older than I am about raising my children. And someday I may go, they had something there. But to this day, the only time I get input is when I'm not receptive to it. If I'm already hot, if I'm already irritated, don't try to tell me what I'm doing wrong right then.
No.
That's not the time.
I snapped at my granny.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I looked at Jason and April. I was like, oh, they
Yeah.
looked at me probably like I had 3 heads. But my granny was like, no, you
Just the wrong time.
don't.
Just the wrong time.
Sister done the same thing. I said, everybody right here is going to quit.
Yeah.
You're going to
Every one of
acknowledge this kid is the devil child.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes love him to death. No.
Every one of you going to stop right now and hold your tongue until later.
Yeah. And I know people listen probably like, I can't believe somebody's kid that way. I love
It's
him.
not your kid.
Well, and I love him, but goodness, he's just in that stage, and I hope he grows out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And me and Cucumber was actually texting the other day, and I guess his second one's a little rowdier than the first, and mine definitely is. And he's like, "You think we should tell Lucas?" I was like, "Nah, piss on him. Let him find out.
Let him find out on his own.
Let him find out when that time comes."
Yeah.
I don't want to give him input.
I am the second child, so I kind of expect a little different out of the second child.
Are you a little more rambunctious than Curtis?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. That's rhetorical,
Yes.
really. Yeah. It's rhetorical.
Yeah.
I know you both
Yeah.
well.
Well, congratulations
First thing he said was,
on Party of 5.
he said, and he'd been fine all day in the waiting room till I came out, and he goes, "Daddy, can I pet him?" Yeah, son.
Pet
You
him.
can pet him.
Pet him.
It is though. It's crazy, but I look forward to it. I look forward to it. I
Well, you
mean,
kind of have to now, right?
yeah. I mean, it's probably good for everybody. Long run, I told Lindsay, I said, if you want a third, I said I'm not real receptive to it, but I said, if we don't, we're going to have basically 2 children the same or if we keep waiting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've said on here 100 times.
Right.
The reason we had the third is because we didn't want Bayless to have to grow up like Waylon did with only 1 child.
Right.
That's not really fair to a kid being the only child. I mean,
It is and it isn't. Right.
I guess
Kids do it all the time.
they do it all the time, but it's I basically grew up by myself. My sister left when I was I don't know 9, 10. Something to say about that?
You seem like an only child. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is you seem like an only child.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I figured that's where that little.
yeah. That was going to. No shit, you're an only child.
Yeah, well, I don't want my kids to be assholes.
Things that blow my mind. That's not on it. You being only child, it's not there.
Yep. Well, I appreciate that.
I do have a little something for you today, though.
Oh, great. You got
I've got a
whole binder here.
whole binder here, and watch your mouth because it's from the church. Probably suck that F-bomb back in there.
Oh, well, I said it under my breath, kind of. Did he get it on there?
Yeah, probably. So there was some history of Hermitage Springs.
Yeah.
From the church that got passed along to my dad because my dad's big into genealogy. He's got a great big family tree. They thought, hey, maybe there's something in here that you'd like to see. And let me get some names right here real quick. This is from Joanne Delahaye. Joanne Delahaye passed this along to my dad.
All right.
This first thing that I want to Molly, shut up. This first thing that I want to read to you is from Miss Irma York Thaxton.
What's up, Irma?
What about it, Irma?
Is that Irma with an E or Irma with an I?
With an E.
I thought so.
That's how you spell it. For the benefit of those who may be doing research from old letters or other writings, this church was organized in a rural community known as Trace Creek Community in Jackson County, Tennessee.
I know where Trace Creek's at.
Okay. You also know that that's in Hermitage Springs in Clay County.
It's on Donnie Cherry's Road, Little Trace.
Yep. So right down here, the church in Hermitage Springs used to be part of Jackson County. Now, why do I bring that up?
Because I'm from Jackson County.
What about that?
Am I connecting the dots?
You're starting to put them together.
What?
Later, the name of the county was changed to Clay County, Tennessee, and the small village was known as the Sugar Orchard, because it was situated on the winding stream of Big Trace Creek, which meandered through a beautiful grove of sugar maples. Progress came into form so recognizable today. The trees were cut down, the sugar orchard was thus demolished, not the houses, but the lovely grove. The village was then named for a prominent citizen,
Dustin Kennedy,
and became known as Spivey, Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, Spivey. That's what Hermitage Springs used to be.
Yeah.
So Chris Boone used to say, let's go to Spivey and get some smoke. So go ahead. I'm half Spivey, by the way.
There you go. There's the big tie-in. A prominent Spivian used to be from down here. This used to be Jackson County. So this is kind of DK land is what I'm getting at.
It's really what I'm hearing.
Your ancestors were prominent citizens of this area. I didn't know I was in Hermitage Springs royalty.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was in the presence of HS royalty this whole time. I've always wondered why you were such a prominent figure in Hermitage Springs.
That's it.
It's because your family has been for years.
I didn't really want to throw that fact out there because I'm humble, as you know.
I do know that.
Humble as it comes.
Did you know any of that stuff?
No.
Did you know that this used to be part of Jackson County? I had no idea.
No, I didn't. I knew it used to be called Spivey.
I knew the Spivey thing. I didn't
Only because
realize
of Chris Boone, though.
I didn't realize that it was part of Jackson County, and this was put together from Overton, Jackson, and Macon, and made into Clay County. And the part that we are currently sitting in used to be part of Jackson County.
Well, that makes sense because, I mean, it runs together so well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if Brimstone is in Clay County or Jackson County.
Well, it depends on how far in you
what's
go.
the boat dock, Jackson?
The boat dock is in Jackson County.
What about the cemetery?
I believe that's still Jackson County. I'm not sure.
I don't either.
I don't know how it lays around through there. I believe on the other side of the boat dock, the other side of the bridge, that's Clay County. I think once you cross the bridge onto the boat dock, you are in Jackson.
The cemetery's past.
But I don't know how the land lays around through
I don't
there.
either.
I don't know. Anyway, so progress came again in the form of promotion of the village as a summer resort because of the mineral springs. So Hermitage Springs was once a summer resort because of the mineral springs that come down through here. Now, I've got pictures. I don't personally have pictures, but my dad has pictures, and he offered to send it with us today. And I told him, had I not monkeyed around and turned the camera off, then the picture would do us some good. But there was a very nice
resort
down here in the middle of town.
Can you imagine somebody saying, "Well, me and the family, we're going over to Panama City. Yeah, we're going to Orlando.
Springs.
Well, we're gonna go around to Hermit Springs. It's got a nice resort down there.
There's a nice resort down in town.
If you can catch it where the chicken crap ain't kicking too hard here at the Hickman and what's it, Melvin?
Yeah, if you can catch it, it's not too bad.
Does Hermit Springs ever not smell like chicken poop?
It never smells like that to me. However,
it's because you're immune to it.
I'm immune to it. I am. The name was changed to Hermit Springs and retains the name in the year of our Lord, 1968. So 1968, it was turned to Hermit Springs for a little bit of history for you.
That's awesome.
I like that. I thought that's a little information that I'd never really put together. Didn't really know that you were such an important figure. Your family had been such important figures down here.
If there's anybody listening that
had any doubt
that was in on that and did have any doubt, I will accept my key to the city any day.
Anytime now. Now, I do believe that I could tell you the name of the Spivey man because I accidentally found it in this while ago. I'm not going to see it now. I didn't mark it. These books are so nicely put together that I didn't want to mess with them too much. But here's a few other things that I did want to bring up to you. So the second book was compiled by Shelta R. McCarter Shrum. So this one's about burials in the Leonard Cave, if anybody's familiar with the Leonard area down there. So there's a lot of history down there from the 1800s and so on. But what I thought was very interesting was the early pioneers from down in that area. A lot of Yorks and whatnot. So some stories were compiled into this book at the beginning. You know, it goes through and it tells you about all who's buried down there and where they're at and this and that. But this lady put together some letters from the pioneers from down there. I'm going to tell you a little story about Zechariah King.
Can you read this in slow rap form?
Nope, I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
I tried, folks.
So, a few stories in the Leonard Cave church records illustrate the lifestyle and probably gives the reader a better idea of the pioneer life in the early days of the Leonard community, more so than anything that I can write. And now, I've read through this trying to figure out who's the narrator of this, and I believe it's probably this Miss Shrum, and I don't know that for sure, but I believe that's who it is. The author of these stories is not given. However, it is determined that this story came from a descendant of Zechariah King, born in 1775 in North Carolina, and Drusy, born 1788 in South Carolina, who were found living in 1850 Monroe County, Kentucky, when the census was taken. The author of these stories could have been one of the daughters, two of which were school teachers of Samuel DeWitt York, so the old York School. The stories are printed here as they appear to have been written. Zechariah King, whose wife was Drusilla, was keeping a special hog to be killed for Thanksgiving feasts. This hog was fattened in a pen enclosed by rails split from the huge chestnut trees which were prevalent in those days. These trees were almost eliminated by blight, which was brought from Europe. That's a little in parentheses fact. The night was very cold as snow was falling. Snug in their feather bed, which was on a mattress of fragrant straw from the wheat fields, and these supported by cords of rope woven into the frame of the bedstead. They were awakened by squeals of the distressed hog. Grabbing his trousers, he struggled into them and ran out to the pig pen. There, silhouetted against the dim light of the snow, was a huge black shadow. A gigantic battle was going on. Squeals and grunts rent the air. Can you feel the tension in this?
And I can. Your voice is just so great. It's really captivating me.
Great grandmother, snug in her warm bed, heard him yell, "Drusy, oh, Drusy, bring me a gun." She snuggled closer, hoping he would think she had not heard him. Ain't that the way it goes, Drusy?
Mm-hmm.
But again, she heard the special musical call, especially for her. "Drusy, oh, Drusy, bring me the gun." She jumped out of bed, grabbed the gun, and ran through the snow up to her naked ankles. She was frightened now.
Girl.
and afraid that her beloved was in danger. He shot the bear and found that the hog must also be killed.
Yeah, it does.
I had a bear attack this fattened hog for Thanksgiving.
Down in New York?
Then he turned his attention to Drusilla. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, he's mad.
Yeah.
He's turned his shotgun towards Drusilla.
But that ain't
That's not the case.
No.
Not the case.
Is this about to turn into one of those
It's going to get romantic here.
Supermarket publications I've talked about?
Shivering and shaking, but deliberately aiming another gun to protect her husband, she was swept up into his arms and carried tenderly back to the fire blazing on the hearth.
Can you read this in a more sexy voice? Can you be more provocative in your tone?
Shivering and shaking, but deliberately aiming another gun to protect her husband.
I thought he was aiming maybe his gun at her. Huh?
She was swept up into his arms and carried tenderly back to the fire on the hearth. So for Thanksgiving, there was hog meat and bear gravy and hog sop. Dear Drusilla, don't you love her?
I do love her.
What about that little story?
She went above and beyond her womanly duties, her wife duties, to make sure that he was
taken care of.
Then is it to be assumed that
there was some
there's some sexual innuendo, some tone, some sexual overtone there? Jacinda?
Drusilla? Drusilla, did you bring your sister Jacinda in? Is that what just happened? Is old Zachariah in for a little meeting too here? Is this what's happening? Is that what we're doing here? On the bear rug that old Zach carved off of the bear that attacked the fattened Thanksgiving hog?
I might as well stop with meeting too. That
might be the end of it. Couple more here.
Oh.
Aunt Frances had to go back home during the Civil War while the men were away fighting. She had a small baby. The baby was asleep in a cradle in the living room. Guerrillas, and not gorillas, as in soldier warfare. Southern soldiers and northern soldiers often came through the countryside and stopped at the plantation home. Usually the men were only looking for soldiers from the other side. One day, a group of northern soldiers came. I don't know why I'm having trouble with soldiers. They camped in the front lawn. Some of them stomped through the house looking for hidden Southerners. They opened bureau drawers, stuck swords into feather beds, ripped open locked trunks. In Aunt Frances's trunk, they found a tiny U.S. flag, which she had made and hidden away in a special box. The officer immediately told the men to put everything back as this woman was a good Yankee. She's a good Yank. Yeah. In the meantime, one officer had carelessly laid his sword across the cradle where the child lay sleeping. Aunt Frances boldly stood and ordered the man to remove the sword from above her child. The officer was a gentleman and immediately apologized contritely and took the sword up. He said, "Ma'am, I too have a baby, and I would not harm a hair on this one's head." When the soldiers had cleared out of the house, Aunt Frances collapsed into nervous tears, but not for long. Such was the courage of our ancestors. Strong people down there.
I'm inspired right now.
I'm inspired. The following story concerns the allegiance of colored people, is what it says here.
You can't say that, Lucas.
This is not intended as a racial slur or any kind of slur. These people were treated like members of the family. So this was written a very long time ago. These are very old stories, very old letters.
Public service announcement: the One Lane Road podcast does not condone the usage of the term colored people.
I don't. Or
black.
Well.
Or African.
Wait.
I don't know what's right anymore, but we don't condone the fact that this book says colored people.
This was written. These were from the Civil War.
Back in the olden days.
Olden days. In the days of the Civil War, nothing could be bought. The people were
not
resourceful.
Even hookers.
Well, I don't know about that. Flax was grown, hackled, and spun and woven into the linens used for tablecloths and for clothing. It was bleached by laying it on dewy grass and allowing the sun to shine upon it. Not having lawnmowers, the grass grew tall in places. Once a Southern soldier had come to see his people. The old mammy, in quotation marks, was bleaching lengths of woven linen on the grass. They heard the horses of the enemy. There was no escape. Quickly, she had Mars to get under one length of the linen, and she smoothed it over him. Now, Mars is apparently the Southern soldier that's come home to see everyone.
Little rub down, huh?
Lying in the tall grass, he was completely hidden. The enemy came, searched, questioned. Mammy went on about her work unperturbed. One soldier thrust his sword through the length of linen near the hidden soldier. Mammy protested that he was ruining the hard-won cloth. He turned away. They rode off, and the soldier was saved. I am sorry, but I've forgotten which side of the family this story belongs to, but I think it's the Hollands. There's one more here that I want to go through, and then I'll be done with this.
Did you read all these? Did you read this whole book?
I've read quite a bit of it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. For a little bit of history from around here, it's pretty good.
Ain't bad.
Last one. The following is perhaps one of the most inspiring stories, in my opinion, about the Yorks, says the author. Meredith York was interested in horses and had a racetrack near the edge of Kentucky. Little early Kentucky racehorse.
Meow.
Fact there, he also owned several thoroughbreds. The most famous of these was a mare which was named for the famous Swedish nightingale, Jenny Lind. The author says, I do not know whether any of the family made the long and arduous trip to Nashville to hear Jenny Lind sing. During the Civil War, the guerrillas raided the stables. The Southerners took some of the horses, and the Northerners took some of them with no pay. There were no men left in the family but the younger boys. I do not remember which boy was chosen, but the family was without salt. And so someone had to go to Kentucky to get salt. At this point in time, very important, because that's how you preserved your food and whatnot.
So it's not a cocaine reference.
Not at this point.
Okay.
Hadn't made its way from Colombia yet. The young boys were so fond of the mare Jenny Lind that they had hidden her in the rail pen in the woods. They took feed to her by a different path each day so they would not leave any telltale signs of the path for the raiders to see. Very protective of this horse. It was decided by the widow, the grandmother, that Jenny Lind must be ridden on the journey to get the salt. The boys remonstrated to no avail, rebelled. They said, no, I don't want to do this.
They don't want to ride Jenny.
I'm not taking Jenny Lind. I love her. Salt must be had, and the journey was too long to be taken underfoot. It was too dangerous also.
Yeah.
So Jenny Lind was made ready, and the carefully rubbed bridle and saddle of beautiful leather.
Lace and leather.
After she had been groomed to perfection.
Groomed?
All the little boys brushed and rubbed her down her coat.
Oh.
Even my father rubbed her ankles.
Provocative.
I believe that Uncle Alexander, although it may have been William, was chosen to go. He went by devious bridle paths, avoiding the well-traveled roads. He arrived in a small town in Kentucky without mishap, which I'm assuming is what is probably now Gamel, because it was kind of a big deal back in the day.
Not Gamea.
Gamel. He bought his salt in a large cotton sack, which was fastened across the back of the mare behind the saddle. He started on his homeward trip and was about halfway home when he met a band of soldiers around a turn in the path. Uh-oh.
Shit.
They were riding single file, and he passed them without any trouble until he reached the end of the column of riders. The last soldier turned in his saddle and ordered the boy to stop.
Yeah.
As the soldier had leveled his gun, the boy could do nothing but obey.
That's what boys should do.
The boy was ordered to dismount. The salt was changed from Jenny Lind to the horse the soldier was riding. The boy was ordered to mount the soldier's horse. The soldier gave a resounding slap to the horse's hips, and off they went. My father described the swapped horse as a bag of bones with a crow's nest for a saddle. So this soldier stole Jenny Lind from the boy, but gave him all of his stuff back. He just needed a better horse. So he took it from this young boy.
Let's consider it.
The family mourned the loss of Jenny Lind ever after, but rejoiced that the boy arrived safely with the needed salt. There were many other tales told around the open wood fire of a long winter evening, but I have time for only a few more, which we have time for no more. But anyway, I thought those were very interesting stories. of our little area from the 1800s.
We will be putting out a separate
Storytime
podcast with Lucas Gene Hickman.
Storytime with Lucas.
Available audiobooks all across Hermitage Springs.
Maybe
we'll sell them down here at Melvin's, the hardware store.
You probably just download them off the iTunes like everything else I do. Could you imagine having to listen to my voice read you a story?
If you got, I think the turn of that is you got to find your happy medium. Like when you became a DJ Cool, Tone Luke.
Mm-hmm. Got to get in between there somewhere.
Then the throbbing member. Lucas, because you just got pretty provocative. I got harder than a diamond in an ice storm over here listening to you talking about Jenny. Until I figured out, like when you talk about grooming Jenny, I'm like she was groomed down. I forgot she was a horse, and I got turned on.
Got in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought Jenny was.
Maybe it's the content. Maybe I need to read some of them other books.
I just thought Jenny was grooming in a time where grooming wasn't really the thing.
Maybe
the grooming was not a thing.
Maybe it was
in those days.
Maybe it wasn't.
I've seen magazines as early as
1960,
1998 that still had a little.
Maybe grooming wasn't quite as up to par as what it is nowadays.
Now they all walking around looking like a bunch of children.
Bunch of children.
But Jenny was ahead of the game.
She getting them ankles rubbed down.
Everybody
was making sure she was combed. Everybody got a hand in there, and even Dad come over and rubbed her ankles down.
Maybe. Now I got that. It went weird there. Maybe you should. Maybe you should not.
Maybe that's not my thing.
Maybe you should.
Maybe this isn't my thing.
Maybe you should axe that idea.
Yeah. But anyway, what do you think about your little history lesson?
Well, I'm impressed by your dedication to reading that whole book this week. Almost.
It's just an interesting book. Now, the letters and whatnot, they don't last long. There's probably not a lot of it, not enough of it, I would think. I like a little local history every now and again.
Things you don't care about 20 years ago.
Exactly right.
When you get older, you're like, well, stories my grandpa used to tell me, I listen to a little closer now.
Yeah.
Stuff you didn't listen to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago. Even, now you're like, what was that story you told me again about?
You remember that one time you told me a story?
Where'd all this come from? That's anybody that's listening to this podcast that's under 30, you're going to be old and boring too one day.
It's just what happens.
It's what happens. What is that DirecTV commercial? Is it DirecTV that says, you can't help when you become your parents?
I don't know, maybe.
And I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, everything that I used to make fun of Daddy for doing, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the full-length conversations, leaving the house. Hey, we'll be back. Talking to his dogs. Well, I'm going to Lafayette. We'll be back.
We'll see you later.
Oh.
Okay, Rick.
Shut up. Now I'm like,
I tell Molly I'm leaving whenever I leave.
Which is a shock to me because every time I see you, Molly's with you.
Well, if I have to leave her here, yeah. She does go with me a lot.
Where don't you take her is the question.
That's the thing, unless it's really, really hot in the outside. And I carry 2 sets of keys so I can leave my truck running for her a lot of times. So there's not a whole lot of places that I go without her.
So you leave it running, then lock the doors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens.
You're a good dog dad.
That's what I do.
I got called out for being a dog dad again this week. It's not a dog dad. I'm a pet owner.
You tote your dogs around in the back of your truck a lot.
Yeah, I do.
Now.
That's what people with dogs do.
No, not all of us. I let Molly ride up front.
But I'm not going to let both of them ride up front.
I would.
I'm not.
Okay.
Because Fancy knows how to act and Rocky doesn't.
Right.
Rocky also falls off the truck in Whitleyville.
Yeah, or you threw him off the truck in Whitleyville somewhere. Maybe you forgot you had a dog on the back and went around a curve a little too sharp.
No. Maybe he shouldn't ride on the toolbox like idiotic dogs do.
That's true. I don't know why dogs like to do that. They like to be up there where they can see, I guess.
Okay.
You know what I did this week?
Mm-mm.
I picked up some hitchhikers.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
It's not.
Not in this day and age.
It's not a good idea. I was in Cookeville, come out of class the other night.
Yeah.
And this couple walks across the parking lot towards one of the guys that come out. Something about it made me go, I wonder what this situation is. I heard him go, no. And then all of a sudden an arm flies up. Sir, looking at me directly in the face because I'm nosy and I was paying attention to the scenario that was going on in front of me.
Yeah.
I've put myself into this situation.
Right.
Across the parking lot, these two come. They said, "Can you take us to the Motel 6?" I said, What's the scenario? How'd you get to here? I said, "Well, our car's over here in the parking lot and it's broken down." I said, "What parking lot? I don't see a car where you're pointing at unless you came from over at Crystal's." I said, "Well, that's what we're talking about, the black car that's broken down."
You gave him this. You shouldn't.
I felt like I might have gave them the information.
Yeah, you did.
So they said, "We just got to go over here." I said, "Okay." So you give a quick look at these people, do they have all their teeth? Yeah. They had pearly whites. Have they got scabs and scars and stuff all over them? They didn't. None visible.
Like I say, I have nothing against people without teeth. People with scabs on their arms probably frown down on you. Go ahead with your story. You hating on people with no teeth.
Well, whenever people are in their 30s.
That's better.
Yeah.
I frown down on that also.
Yeah. And I said, okay, these people don't look too bad, right?
Yeah.
But you never know.
You don't.
So the guy, I told him, I said, "I'm not against giving y'all a ride over here. Are you carrying any weapons?" He says, "No." You know what I would say if I was carrying weapons?
No.
I would say no. I said, I get it. But I'm going to need you to show me. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You're going to need to pull that shirt up and spin around and let me make sure that you're not carrying a gun in your waistband." He goes, "Oh, I'll walk over there. You can search me." I said, "Okay, that's good of you. I need you to stand where you're at, pull your shirt up, spin around in a circle, and let me see that you're not carrying a weapon." Seriously? I said, "Yeah, I get it. That's the price of admission, though. If you want to ride, this is the price of admission." He goes, Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Would it have been just easier to tell him to screw off?
It would have been.
But you're trying to be good in your heart, though.
I'm trying to be good and also protect myself because I'm thinking, this isn't a good idea. You know what I should do? Give them $3 and tell them there's a taxi cab here for $3 will take you anywhere in town. But I didn't. Made the guy search. Made the guy pull his shirt up, spin in circles. Told him, I said, "You know what? Y'all get in and everybody just sit real nice and still and we're going to have a nice ride down here to the Motel 6. And they said, "Okay." Got in. The guy started getting back. I said, "No, buddy, you're getting up front with me. You're going to ride up here. She can ride in the back." He said, "All right." And you've never seen two people sit more still. They were probably terrified at the decision that they've made to ride with this guy. This seems like a psychopath. This seems like more of a psychopath than two people walking through a parking lot. They might have thought, what have we just done to ourselves? And that guy was as nervous as he could be the entire time because not only did I
profile him,
not only did I search the guy, I sit side saddle in my seat the whole time where I could see the dude. As we're going down the road, I told him, I said, "I apologize if I seem a little edgy." He said, "No, I get it. You can't trust anybody these days." I said, "Yeah, not only that, for the last 2 hours, people have been trying to strangle me to death in this class that I just come out of." So I said, "I'm a little edgy right now." He goes, "So what is it that you do?" And I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, we don't need to get personal or anything." I said, "I'm just giving you a ride to the motel." We got down there and she sat ready to jump out of this truck at literally any point going down the road. He was 2 hands crossed on his lap like a good little church boy would be the entire ride down through there. And they got out at the Motel 6 and I shit you not, they ran and hugged each other whenever they got out of my truck. I thought, that's a little much. And then I thought, they don't know. They could think that they won the lottery by actually getting to go to the Motel 6.
Oh, God. Or they were riding with a friggin' psychopath for 3 miles.
Yeah, they went 3 miles down the road with a psychopath. She literally threw her arms up, and he ran over and hugged her whenever they got out.
Oh, my God.
They probably said, "That's the last time, honey. I'll never ask again." I know, honey. We'll never do that again. This is the turning point in our lives. We'll never have to do this anymore.
I thought if he had teeth and no scabs on his arm, he was
going to be fine. He's going to be fine to give us a ride.
Happened to me one time. I left Walmart. This was probably 2004, 2005. I had that little red Colorado, and when I worked night shift, went to Walmart, got my groceries, and the girl said, "Hey, can you give me a ride?" And I never have. And I've always been 100% against that. I went, "The girl,
right?
Like what?
What can she do?"
Yeah, I mean, So I said, well, where are you going? She goes over by On the Run, just a couple
doors down.
From Jefferson across Jackson to there. All right. So as we're going, I remember exactly the spot we was at. We was going by that oil change place on Jackson. She goes, "So do you like to party?" And I said, "Yeah, I love to drink beer." She goes, No. Like,
do you party?
And it wasn't even cocaine.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, anybody can get some meth, maybe some crack.
Brought it straight out. I mean, she not only wanted you to know that she was down to party, but what type of party and she was down to do.
You got to be clear about it.
We're not talking about any high class parties here. We're gonna get down in the weeds is what we're about to do.
I said, "Honey, I believe you and I got a different perspective on partying."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take you over here to On the Run.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop you off over here at On the Run, and you just go on about your day.
And I dropped her off, car running.
Mm-hmm.
I told my boss, Joanna Strode, who reminds me of Medea, whatever you're going to say, especially now Joanna's let her hair go gray.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her about that the next day at work. Oh, you can't do that. You can't be picking people up. People crazy. Crazy. Now, still to this day, all these years later, remember that time you picked up that hitchhiker? I told you crazy. You crazy for that.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of moment last night.
Yeah?
I was asleep. I've been letting Baylor sleep with me, so just to kind of keep him some attention, because he's used to sleeping with Lindsay and with us. So she's been doing her own thing. Well, about 1:30, I'm out of it. She goes, "Dustin, there's something going on. Dog's been barking for like 20 minutes."
Mm-hmm.
So I go out. If something was happening, I wasn't going to solve the problem quick.
Right.
I had to go put shorts on,
right.
find a shirt, put my contacts in, can't see in glasses.
Right.
So I sit in the rocking chair out front, and I don't hear anything. The dogs come to the porch, sit with me. So I'm like, well, they're probably just barking at a deer. Then I hear a car door slam, and then it takes off, spinning gravel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, well, somebody was down there.
Yeah.
You know that little pull off I'm talking about?
Yeah. Down, not at the bottom, not at your driveway, but below your hill.
In front of Hunting Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, all right. And my granny just said, there's a sketchy ass family that lives down the road from my granny. There's like 7 generations of them. They're all bottom
in the same place.
They're all bottom of the barrel scumbag, low life, drug selling, drug dealing degenerates. Have been since age 0. Pass it down genetically. Each generation of scumbag, bottom of the barrel, toothless, non-showering, drug-pushing skanks. And did I leave out?
You went hard in the paint.
Yeah. Did I forget any adjectives?
If you did, I don't have the vocabulary to go back and get them for you.
Barrel.
You said that one.
Yeah. So I thought, well, it's them.
Yeah.
Here
they are.
Sleazy little bastards running around, you know.
Sleazy might have been the one you left out while ago.
Yeah, I tried to hit that one. So
come back and got it.
Then I heard people just chit-chatting down there. I said,
jibber jabbering.
My thought is they've dropped them off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing, you drop them off.
Somebody else comes through.
Picks them back up. I said, no.
I ain't having that.
I called Rick. Hello, hey. What is it? There's people dicking around the bottom of the hill down here. I said, one car took off. There's a bunch of voices. I said, there's multiple voices. Well, all right. I'm going to check it out. I'll be there in a second. So I get the old gun out because, shit. I watched Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Before I went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was feeling pretty G'd up anyway.
Gangsta.
So I loaded the pistol.
Bam.
Brought extra round in the pocket.
Yeah.
Got in the truck. Turned on regulators.
Mine up.
Lucas might not care for it, but I'm about to go pop somebody. You know. So I got Warren G bumping, and they're going down North Springs, and I profile them a little bit.
Yeah.
Wind about a quarter way down.
Looking them, give them the eye over the top of the window.
Yeah, couldn't see a lot. Seen they had some cars with them. I told Daddy, he said, "What'd you see?" I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I said, well, my windows are too dark, and I was really afraid. I didn't really want to get my window down. I didn't want them to see my face. I'm a badass.
Yeah.
You know, and he goes, it's probably somebody broke down. I think so. I think there was multiple cars. So I think somebody's broke down. I'm going to drive back by again.
I'm going to slow ride by them one more time.
So I did, and I headlighted them this time. And what it was a truck with a derby car behind it. Then another truck with a derby car behind it. So I go to the old Ward Kemp store, flip around, come back. Roll the window down about halfway. Everything cool? Had a tire blowout. Huh. All right.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one's blew out? That was the back one here, the black truck. Oh, where y'all been? Went to Sparta at the fair. Oh, yeah. Yurt.
Yeah, Yurt.
Where you from? Red Bowling. Shitty place to break down, ain't it? There ain't no cell phone service, man. I know. I don't mean to question you, but I got my gun.
Yeah.
I said, I said, my wife, I said, woke me up.
Yeah.
My dogs, I said, this is my dog. You see my dogs back here on the back? I said, that was the ones barking at you. I said, I was sound asleep. My wife, I said, it's a shame. I said, I passed by y'all twice. I was afraid to say anything because I don't trust anybody, especially in North Springs. I said, but I had to get a gun. That's no offense. No, man, I understand. I understand. But man, hey, man, we're from right down the road. We're just. You got to hold somebody. Yeah. We had a friend following us, and they went to get a lug.
Lug wrench. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I had mine. He said, but I didn't bring it in this truck. So my friend's going to get it.
You know, that's that same scenario I was talking about a while ago, to where now what they're doing is they're dragging a truck up the road with one wheel blew out, thinking, I ain't breaking down in this son of a bitch ever again. I'll drag this thing all the way down to Ward Kemp's old store next time and break down. This cat on top of the hill up here, he's crazy. There's a psychopath lives in downtown North Springs, Jack.
Hey, we don't play. I remember many times when Daddy run that store, he'd get up in the middle of the night, load that pistol. Yeah. Because he got broke into a couple times.
Yeah, just go ahead and fire a couple rounds off into the night air and see what happens. Pop, 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 pop. You still hear them, honey? They still down there?
Hearing that wheel. Man, we're still getting feedback from that damn music list.
Oh yeah? What else we get?
James Rinks hated our list.
LV Law.
I love James Rinks. James Rinks listens every week, but now he hated our list. He said we just was completely shit the bed, completely out of bounds.
Well, let's hear his. Let me see it. Let me see his list.
He said, the Beatles suck.
Yeah,
my God. Right. He said, my God, Lucas.
You're right. You're right, James Rinks. The Beatles do suck.
He said, that's much more grogus than, what's the word I'm trying to say?
That's probably egregious.
Egregious. Sorry, I'm retarded. That, you knocking Johnny Cash.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because, you know why? The Beatles do suck.
Oof.
And, you know, Johnny Cash isn't that overrated. So it's not worse because, you know, the Beatles can screw off.
He said, I'm not a Van Halen guy. I can't do this podcast now. I said, well, we know how to run them off. He put LOL. Sammy Hagar or David Lee Roth. Doesn't matter. Van Halen was badass.
Yeah. No, they weren't.
We got to jump.
Yeah.
Jump.
He can't drive 55.
Jump.
Yeah. They can jump and drive. One of them can jump in the other one's car and drive 55 off into the sunset.
Jump. In my little velvet jumpsuits.
Yeah. Go ahead and jump.
I do. If I'm going to listen to Jump, I hear Big Daddy Mac will make you jump with their backward suits. You know what I'm talking about? Crisscross. And not one Whitesnake song was mentioned.
That's exactly right. Not one Whitesnake song was mentioned on it.
What is their biggest song?
I have no idea.
Yes, you do. You know, it's Whitesnake.
I'll have to Google them.
No, we know the song. It's got the chick. It's got the chick dancing on the hood. Tawny Catan or whatever. Yes, you know Whitesnake. What is the song?
Here I go again.
Here I go. Well, I'll tell you why I don't know it's Whitesnake, because that's Frank the Tank. That's Frank the Tank.
Still
old school.
Is this love?
Is this love that I'm feeling? You know how I know that song? From Monster Ballads 37 that they sell on CD on television at 9:30 at night.
I don't.
During Friends reruns.
You know, there's some genres of music that
you don't love.
That I don't love.
And it's hair bands.
Hair bands.
Can you go back out to Here I Go Again and click on it?
Mm-hmm. You want to hear some of the music? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Tell me what you think of.
Which one did you say? Here I
go Again.
That's not the band that I was thinking of.
They all look the same to me. They're like.
It's got 61 million views.
Now you hear this
You know
song.
what? You know what song I was thinking of whenever you said that while ago was that one with Dee Snider and
We're Not Gonna Take It.
Yeah, with that woman on the.
Listen.
Look at all that hair. Where have you been?
I like this song.
You've been to the hairdresser
James
for damn
Rinks,
sure.
I like this song, but it's not Whitesnakes anymore. It's Frank the Tank. When he's working on the car out front and he's got to go to the damn party. He just got married. He's wanting to go to the frat party. And he's crushing the beer in the front yard. You know what I'm talking about, Lucas?
You know where he's been? You know where this guy he's going again. He's going to sit under that hairdryer again.
Some nice hair.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get another perm where he's going.
With our haircuts that we've had since the 90s and our big thunder thighs, isn't it not great that we didn't grow up in the 80s?
Yeah.
Can you see us in Larry Bird shorts with our big fat-ass legs?
I don't want it.
And how did people like...
I didn't even get anywhere close to Frank the Tank when I typed it in.
You butchered that. How did people's legs look so good at the top of their legs back then? Did nobody eat? Was there fat people in the 80s? Everybody's
not
legs,
like it is now.
Everybody's legs look so normal when you see them in the Larry Birds and the John Stocktons.
Yeah.
Everybody's legs look... Frank the fucking Tank.
Bam. He's working on his Trans Am. Trans Am's smoking like every other Chevrolet always does.
You drive a Chevrolet.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
still smokes.
GMC, the cousin. Frank the Tank. Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
So good.
Is that the best movie possibly ever? Yeah.
That's Old School's a very good movie.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy.
One of the best ever.
I forgot how good that movie was. There was a lot of quotes.
All of them.
That come out of that movie.
Then he said,
"What else he got to say?"
You're
besides,
lucky your buddy saved you with a small Motley Crue mention, or I'd have probably been headed that way to fight you in the yard.
Now, with that being said, I take back everything I've said about the '80s music. I love it. Don't come fight me in the yard.
I'm as red-assed as I can be, he said.
I was just kidding on all this. He got all serious.
Yeah.
I love some '80s hair metal. Here I went again.
Oh, man. Then Thad threw out there that he couldn't believe no Eminem was mentioned.
Yeah, it's really not dance music, though, is it?
Well, I mean, I can't think of any artist other than Hank Jr. that I was listening to more in 2002 through 2004 than Eminem.
Yeah, he was huge at that point.
I mean, let's see. First album came out, the My Name Is song came out in 99, 98, 99, whatever it was, 99, I think. My freshman year of high school. And then the Marshall Mathers LP that was so controversial had the line about, I'll take the 7 kids from Columbine, stand them all in line, add an AK-47 revolver and a 9. That came out in 2001. So those albums would have been, the Eminem show come out in 2002 because that's when me and Fraley went to Atlanta to see him.
Annette.
Exhibit, Papa Roach, Ludacris, and Eminem.
The Slim Shady LP in 99.
Yeah.
Marshall Mathers LP in 2000.
Oh, it was 2001.
And then the Eminem show in 2002.
The next one was Encore right there in
2004.
And Encore sucked, I think. Click on Encore and see.
Let's see.
Do you recognize any of those songs? Other
Puke.
Than, which sucked, I guess. I don't. Mosh, I guess. Just Lose It was the big one off that one. Like Toy Soldiers was a good song.
Yeah, it was all right.
That CD kind of sucked.
Ass Like That.
Yeah.
That was pretty big.
And Mockingbird, I think, was probably that CD not the best. My favorite Eminem CD.
Curtain Call, the hits. They put out a hits compilation in 2005.
That was the record label needed some. Then he had the 8 Mile soundtrack. It was in there in the middle. Just Lose It would have been huge around that time period. But
well, then you also had his D12 album in there.
Purple Pills, Blue and Yellow, Purple.
Pale.
That was like 2001, I think.
D12 World 2000. D12 World 2004. I believe that's probably the one.
No, Devil's Night's the one.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the one that's Purple Pills on it. Trust me, I was black for that time period.
Yeah.
Pimp Like Me was a pretty funny one. But, I mean, Eminem Show was my...
So what's the name of that Purple Pill song?
Purple Pills.
And it's...
Right there.
Yeah, there it is. 2001.
So he didn't... From when he started in 99, he didn't miss anything. He went from 99, 2000, his own albums. 01, D12. 02, Eminem Show. 03, the 8 Mile soundtrack. 04, he put out Encore and another D12 album. Boy, was busy. Is your house phone ringing?
It is right now. Yeah. It's the same thing. It's an alarm calling me. It's an alarm calling me right now.
What's it
There's
about?
no... It doesn't matter.
Is it important?
There's nothing.
Alarms usually are important.
Yeah, it's not in this case though because I know who.
Tell me what it is. Then.
I can't tell you.
Okay.
It's not important.
Anyway, yeah, Eminem. Click on Eminem Show. Eminem was the baddest ass rapper, still the greatest rapper, maybe ever in my opinion.
Cleaning out my closet.
Look, all of it was good. White America, Business, till we disappear, grow beards and disappear into the mountains. Something get weird. I don't know. Remember though?
I don't remember this one as much. Till I Collapse.
Till I Collapse is still great. Say What You Say is great. Superman's great.
My dad's gone crazy.
My dad's gone crazy. And then the one he's talking about Superman. When he's talking about it was insinuated it was about Mariah Carey after Eminem threw her the D and she went a little crazy.
Puke was also about Mariah Carey.
Really? That doesn't seem very nice.
In one of his concerts, he actually played a message that she had left on his cell phone over the top of the beginning of that song.
I always thought Haley Russell looked like Mariah Carey. A little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe a little Russell.
How about you?
I'll just agree with you on that.
Disagree with me.
Yeah, I'll just agree with you.
No sense of fighting.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought you did too, Dustin.
Yeah, she did.
Only child syndrome. Agree with me, okay?
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I can't. I can't do that.
We had one more bit of feedback here from last week. I'm sitting in the hospital.
Yeah.
Today, the baby Jack. By the way, I think I've mentioned it, but this will be my favorite child of yours. You'll have no trouble remembering his name, I would imagine. Jack.
Jack. Yeah, that's right.
So it's a pure point of, boy, that is your third child. Waylon, Bayless, two strong names. Jack. And try not to say baby Jack with it because you're used to saying two syllables. Now it's like Jack. Hey baby Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Throw it in there. But anyway, I get a phone call and I don't answer. It's Mackie. And we were just had family in there, so that's why I didn't answer at the time, I guess. And I texted him. I was like, "Hey man, so what I miss?" Nothing. Just gonna holler at you. Call me back in a little bit. So I finally hollered back at him, and he said, "Steve Mackey said he's gonna kick your ass, son."
I wondered about that.
Well, the thing is, I know Steve Mackey's a proud One Lane Road podcast subscriber, but I didn't know if he listened every week.
Yeah, I wondered about that. I put it out, and I thought, "Oof, I don't know."
Well, he said, "You talked to old DK lately?" He said, "Well, yeah, I talk to him every day." He said, "Well, you talked to him recently about anything else?" "What are you talking about, Dad?" "You know what the hell I'm talking about." He said, "I listened to that damn One Lane Road podcast." He said, "What's he doing?" He goes, "Well, he's having a baby day." "Well, tell him I'll spare him a day or two." DK, I got something waiting for old DK. So, Stevie Joe, I'd like to tell you how it really went down.
He's going to apologize to you right here real quick.
I'm going to give you an Antonio Brown apology.
Yeah.
I'm
going to cry a little bit.
Act like I mean it. But what the truth is, we were coming home from Nashville, and we were talking about prank calls, just how I'm pretty well A1 legend on being
prank call.
The best at prank caller ever. Top 5 in the game, really. If I have to toot my own horn, I don't have any talents. I can't.
Can prank call.
I can prank call somebody. No, seriously. I was being serious. We were just talking about old prank calls. He goes, call Dad. I said, I'm not. And this is true, Steve. I said, I ain't calling your dad at 11 o'clock. That's a little late to be calling somebody. Hell, he's up. No, Jeremy, I'm not calling your dad at 11 o'clock. He's up, which made it funnier. Shit, he's getting ice cream.
Yeah.
He's getting ice cream.
You think it's, you think he's concerned? You think the thing that he's wanting to talk to you about is the fact that he didn't know that you prank called him, or you think it's the content of the prank call that he's wanting to concern himself with you about?
No, I don't think he cares. Jeremy had to get his mannerisms and bravado somewhere.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
It had to come from...
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Steve's a rambunctious cat. Steve's told us some old stories, and I love it, man. I love the shit out of Steve Mackey.
Yeah.
He is
all this coming so that you don't get your ass chewed as bad.
No, I do. I love Steve Mackey.
Yeah.
I would have said that. I would have said that regardless. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, what do you think about Steve Mackey? I love you. See that, man.
Yeah.
I love that whole family.
And then here's some stories about him.
Yeah, but no. It's just funnier when somebody when you got them hook, line, sinker. You know, I try to no sell it.
Right.
In wrestling terms, I try to do the no sell when somebody prank calls me. You know, you ain't gonna get one over on me.
Right.
I ain't gonna sell it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, good. Hey, you're breathing the phone. That's cool.
Yeah.
What is this? 1986.
Yeah.
Come
at me. Yeah.
Come with some better content.
Yeah.
You know, but when you got Steve, not interested. Got him. Hey, we got him.
Yeah, on the line already.
And I was done.
Now I can't. Now I can't stop.
Well,
I got to reel it in.
Now I
got to reel it in.
I was 70. I was 35% done.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to call him back. So what the funniest is, when he calls Jeremy, I'm like, keep him on the phone.
Yeah.
Let me call.
Yeah.
I'll call in. So he'll say, Jeremy, I'm gonna let you go. So when
he comes back,
yeah,
with a suck a camel toe.
So let y'all little behind the scenes stuff there. When after we get done, Lucas is always like, and y'all think we don't. When we always joke, we don't remember what we're talking about. Literally every single week, Lucas will be typing and say, "What are we talking about? What are we talking about today?" And so I'll give a rundown of what I've written down, and then Lucas will say. Most time, Lucas comes up with pretty good titles on his own anyway. But he said last week he just happened to say, "What should we title this?" And I went, "We really were so all over the place that there's nothing."
Nothing really stood out.
I said, "Suck a camel toe, I guess." And Lucas played with it on the keyboard, and he said, "Don't really like it."
I can't bring myself to write it.
Then I
couldn't even type it.
And then he said, "What if we put suck a camel's toe like apostrophe S?" And I went, "Is that going to save it?"
Did the apostrophe S save it?
The apostrophe S going to save it? No.
No, I don't think it did. I can't bring myself to write it.
So, Steve, I apologize for calling you at 11. I wish it had been 9 so I wouldn't feel guilty about it at all.
But you don't apologize for anything else.
I don't apologize for getting you. I would always and forever, if anybody ever this prank called and heard this voice, more than likely it is not Habib. It is Dustin Kennedy.
It's you.
Every time. This is my voice.
You just gave up the ability to prank call people.
I'm 35. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
You did that on purpose. You just gave it all away so that you don't have to do it anymore.
I tried. Oh my. So in the ending, it's 11:20.
You got to go.
I've got to get home and listen, guys. If the Titans lose today, there's 15 more weeks.
Don't get up in arms yet.
If we lose to Cleveland, remember, guys, Cleveland was on the cover of Sports Illustrated for the preview issue. They were on the cover of Sports Illustrated for Kids, which we also get at our house. They have been the media darlings ever since they drafted Baker Mayfield and traded for Odell Beckham. If the Titans lose today, there's a chance in the next 15 weeks they can still make the playoffs. If you're going to bash the quarterback, his name is Mariota. We're not losing to Georgia State and BYU like the boys on the hill have done the last 2 weeks. Prayers for all my friends that are Vols fans.
Oof.
At this point, I'm glad everybody knows I'm a pro guy.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I'm a Shaquille O'Neal fan.
And
I'm a Titans fan. Shaquille O'Neal's been retired for 8 years, so I'm glad to say I love the NBA. It's a very healthy hobby of mine that I don't have anything riding on one player like I did for Shaq for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans, I do get pissed off the Titans, but I'm not a knee-jerk reaction guy that everybody's got to get fired after 2 weeks. Vols fans, can I talk you off the ledge? Jeremy Pruitt's not going anywhere. He's in year 2 of a, 4 or 5 year deal. The offensive coordinator's getting fired. That's T. Martin. He's the guy that everybody always says when Vols fans hang on to that one championship from 20 years ago, he's the quarterback.
You know, one of the saddest things I ever seen was somebody celebrating the anniversary of the last time that UT won a championship.
Yeah. Clint Fraley and William Russell talked about it on Facebook the other day. I seen them comment on it.
That's bad. That's sad.
I'm a Vols fan by default. I'm not one of these guys that roots for Florida or Alabama.
We're in Tennessee.
You know, I will root for the Vols. I'm
too.
just not a college guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
That's true.
Yeah. That's true. But I was a Cotton Eye Joe's guy.
This is what the conversation went this morning. I said 10-15 question mark. Dustin said probably this evening Titans play at 12. And I said, all right, I need to do it early this morning. He said, okay, can we do any earlier just in case? 10 even. I said 10 is good. Okay. Then I said, are you going to the game? Because I thought he's needing to get somewhere. He's got to go, right? A little bit of time passed, about 5 minutes or so. You said, no, it's in Cleveland. But I want to be back home in time not to miss any of it. Yeah. I'll be at the game next Sunday, though.
I know.
Said, oh, okay. All right.
I like how I told you the game's at 12.
And then I still assumed that you was going to it.
Oh, like
after I seen it, I thought, I wonder if he means he's leaving for the game at 12. But he said the game's at 12.
Yeah.
So surely he means the game's at 12, but I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know.
If your theory was accurate, like if you said, hey, are you going to the game that starts at 12, but we need a podcast by 10, I would have walked in the basement, turned on my microphone and said, welcome to the One Lane Road podcast.
I got to go.
Tighten up. Love you. Lucas is an idiot for assuming that I can make it here on time to do a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We'll go watch the Titans. Good luck.
I'm just saying.
Thanks, everybody.
I didn't finish my UT thing. I'm just saying,
yeah,
nobody's getting fired, guys.
You're done.
But I can't believe y'all need to get a quarterback up there. Garantano, y'all get off Marcus Mariota. Y'all be thinking when Mariota has 35. No, I'm just joking. He's not.
All right, everybody.
35 touchdowns.
We love you.
He does.
See you later.